With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The final weekend of the summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are as we are off and running on EA Sports. And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be led out by a Heisman runner-up during his college days. It's the versatile Jalen Hurts.
And there was a positive in last week's loss. No interceptions thrown by him. But he only threw one touchdown pass, and you know he wants that to improve. He might even consider that as part of the reason that they couldn't take the win last time out. I believe we'll see a more aggressive version of him this week whenever they're nearing the end zone.
A running play there, going to get 10 and a quick first down. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. A check on the numbers for Chubb from a week ago. 2 trips to the end zone and well past 100 yards.
And going back and watching the film, we saw every kind of run from him, didn't we? We saw some power, we saw finesse, we saw speed, and what I love the most, he finished each and every run.
So just 3 yards on the completion there. And now that sets up 3rd and 2. When you look at this defense, this unit 3rd best in the NFL in stopping the run.
We know it's only week 1, but the results look pretty good so far. The key is, can they do it week in and week out? Because right now, they're not awarding any championships or trophies after 1 week of performance. It's some nice young faces playing for him. Let's see if they can get this going.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 27 yards there on a very nice 3rd down conversion. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down. So it looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
Hurts sets up to throw it. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Alexander Johnson will run to drop it. Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. Play action. Here's Hurts. Dancing to his left. Gain of 9 that time on the scramble. 1 yard shy of the marker, and it brings up 4th.
That looked great when he first took off because in my mind, there was room to run, and he had the marker in his sight. But I certainly didn't expect him to close so quickly, and neither did he. They got to him just in time, and now that forced him to make a decision with his 4th down call.
All in all, a pretty decent opening drive, Charles. Pretty balanced. They had the passing game going and the rushing attack, too.
I would think they have to be happy with that start because you get your ground game going, which means your offensive line and your runners are pretty happy, and then you get your aerial attack going as well, so your quarterback and receivers have smiles on their faces. Now both up to speed, awaiting their next possessions for this game. They can't wait to get started again.
So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They will be led out by the former Heisman Trophy winner back in 2016. Always a handful to contain, Lamar Jackson.
And he remains the league's premier rushing threat and one of the biggest playmakers among quarterbacks. His goal each and every season, continue to expand his game as a passer and become well-rounded. All those highlight reel plays you see, they come off the fact that he can run it, throw it, and scares defenses every time he takes a snap.
Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. That one tipped, and it's incomplete. Well, good hands there defensively, and it's 2nd down. So this city, Columbus, Ohio, they've got the hockey team, soccer team, minor league baseball is here. Of course, Ohio State is the behemoth. And they've got an NFL franchise to call their own now, though. And these folks, I'll tell you, they could not be happier. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Great 15-yard effort on the ground there on 3rd down to keep the drive going. A couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit. Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going. Good sign on the opening drive. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On the option, here's Elliott. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. The numbers for Zeke from last week. 17 carries, 63 yards. And I know that last week's game is over, but this feels almost like a continuation of what he did in the previous game. It's almost as if in his mind, he knitted together the 2 weeks with no break. He's off to a nice start here. On 2nd down, Jackson. But he's got Ezekiel Elliott. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. Well, he was a busy man out of the backfield a week ago. They got the ball early and often. I have no doubt in my mind that he'll be a big part of the game plan here as well. On 3rd down, Elliott. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold him to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop. Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here, because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Columbus with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. They keep on the ground with Elliott. 45 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field, but his number is called. The way he's running it, I keep going back to him. Throw left side, pulled in by Mingo. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. That one goes for 16 yards and sets him up 1st and goal. That's a nice job right there. Get the ball out to the perimeter, get it to your guy in space. And he's just going to take this, turn upfield, and turn it into a big play in 1st and goal. Elliott. Touchdown. Well, he's been the workhorse on this drive, and it would have been unfair to bring someone else in to finish the job. So they go back to him again, and he delivers with a touchdown run. On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it culminates in a touchdown run by Ezekiel Elliott. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their 2nd drive. And after the field goal last time, see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles. I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt. Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal. I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Here's Hurts to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Lawrence. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that'll bring up second down. Coming right, this is Chubb on the toss. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. Give him the third down conversion, 5 yards on the play. Now this offense hoping to avoid the 0-2 start. They trail, but they've got a 1st and 10 here. Throwing is Hurts. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Multiple players getting home there, and it's a loss of 2 on the sack. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
The offense on third down tonight, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Hurts. Being chased out left. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Hurts dangerous when he runs that football. He's got a 1st.
No surprise to see his sideline fired up by that big play. Heck, we're fired up, and we're supposed to be neutral. That's a quarterback putting his body on the line to fight and just barely get the 1st down. When he does something like that, it gets everyone ready to lay it all out there and try and match his intensity.
They'll throw on 1st down with Hurts. He finds his man, complete. It's Lawrence. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's 2nd down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
2nd down, here's Jalen Hurts. Short throw caught by Dulcich. So the completion good for just 3. And it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go.
And Brandon, as you know, sometimes it's a lot tougher to run with these tight ends nowadays in the NFL. They're just bigger wide receivers. He lined up on the left side of the formation, ran a drag route across the field, and tried to work his way open. He was able to make the catch, but the defenders were there. Couldn't do a whole lot with it afterwards.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
They converted twice on 3rd down that drive already, but couldn't make it a 3rd. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt.
They'll run for it. Chubb. And boy, this is going to be close. That mark looks a little short, and he didn't get there. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down. They start on the ground with Elliott. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Now it's Jackson out to his left. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the 1st. They'll set up to throw. Steps away to his left. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. They'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave them with 2nd and a yard.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing a throw. Now they've got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the 1st down, and don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs again.
A gritty play there. Put his nose down and got his guys a 1st.
I'm not especially looking at this point with defensive eyes here, partner, because they were still laser focused on him after his earlier exploits on this drive. I think they went back to the well just a little bit too soon. He got across the line of scrimmage, but they certainly weren't giving up much more than that.
Buying time to his left. Throw left side complete. That's Willis. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Now the offense will burn their third and final timeout as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. From the red zone now, here's Jackson on first down. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down. Play action. It's Jackson rolling to his left. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off.
Looking for Higgins, but it is intercepted. Rayshon Jenkins picks it off. And the Seahawks are going to take over once again, and they'll have it at their own 8-yard line.
Definitely not the ideal time to see that mistake, partner, because this is still a one-possession game, and that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning to points for the other side.
And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's second down. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we send you down 2. Sorry, Coach, put a pin in that. We are going to move right on to the third quarter here. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. So the halftime break behind us, and we are back underway with the third quarter of action. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. This offense ready to go to begin this third quarter. Now, this game, it has obviously been all about the defense on both sides of the football. Which offense is going to break through here? We'll see if they can do it on this drive. Second half starts with a carry by Elliott. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles around the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
Forced out to his left. Over the middle, complete. It's Elliott. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Working with the lead, trying to get to 2-0. Here's first and 10. Now it's Jackson. Dancing to his left. The quick feet by Jackson. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
And Brandon, this is the time of the game when Jackson could really take over. He's got the defense's legs a little bit tired. He's got him on the run.
Yeah, this defense looks gassed, and you're exactly right. Second half with the lead, this is when Lamar Jackson seems to thrive. 60 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Open man is Mingo, complete. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
From the 13 now, they work on first and 10. Jackson now. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. Touchdown! Ezekiel Elliott. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Wizards take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the third quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is let you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a two-touchdown lead, right? Because you've taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. Well, the opposition laid down the challenge, an opening drive touchdown here to start the second half. And, Charles, now you feel like this group needs to get an answer because this all of a sudden is a two-score game.
Yeah, you're right about that. What was a small, manageable spread to overcome, a little bit more daunting now. I think you're exactly right. Pressure is on because you don't want them getting the ball back with a chance to really extend this lead out.
Second down, here's Hurts. Same connection, Dulcich once again. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. That'll pick up the first down for Seattle on a gain of 18. He'll drop to throw. Going out wide, finds Chubb. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The Clemson product, DJ Reader, got in for the sack.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
Now the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Here's Bradley Pinion now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Columbus's offense just about ready to go again. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep.
Opted to run for it. The decision a good one, picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. They go play action now. Jackson on the move to his left. Throw caught there by Willis. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. A first down carry by Elliott. And he'll be taken down after a decent gain, and that will bring us to the end of this third quarter of play. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Columbus, as it looks like we are just about set and ready to begin with the fourth. From the 44-yard line, here's a 2nd and 5. Now Jackson steps away to his left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Anthony Walker, given that O-line fits, he gets in there to drop him. On 3rd down, Jackson buying time to his left. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
He didn't like what he saw downfield, decided his best course of action was to take off and run. And that ended up being a gamble that did not pay off for him. Now they would have to gamble again if they want to keep this series going.
They'll run it with Elliott. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th. So this offense able to convert on fourth, and now a fresh set of downs here, 1st and 10. Again, it's Elliott. Down at the 35, it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. Inside give to Elliott. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. 78 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Linebacker Patrick Queen bringing him down. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys are just saying, let's just keep running it out. We've got them now.
And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. So they cite the right guard this time with a holding penalty.
And so many different assignments you could have at that position, and sometimes you might just be a step too late and have to grab and hold on.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. To throw is Jackson. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a 1st down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal.
1st and goal at the 6-yard line.
Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. Minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Another carry tonight for the workhorse Elliott. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Third and goal, Jackson. Touchdown! Jonathan Mingo, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Wizards are on their way to a 2-0 start. Elliott now to add the extra point. And it's 21-3. That drive, a long one, spanning 15 plays. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense
that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
A very good move, but for a relatively modest gain out near the 32. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Jacoby Myers. He's going to have the first down and then some. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Jacoby Myers, 68 yards. And the Seahawks are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. Extra point right down the middle, and it makes the score 21-10. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. So 2 scores down, time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And it looks like this one won't work out. Hands team able to secure the football. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll get it with just a shade under a minute to go in the game. And he is going to have a first down here, and that should be the one that seals a victory. A big pickup there, and without question, that should be more than enough to wrap this one up. 5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on first down. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more. Little insult to injury here late in the game. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over. So it's a win for the home side, and it was just too much Lamar Jackson. He really played well.
Yeah, he really had his A game tonight. He threw a couple of